West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm one half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, Machel and Santokie, and with me as ever is my partner in crime, Santokie Nagalendran. Santokie, how you doing?
Yeah, Mash, you're right. Can't stop, won't stop. You know, we've had no time to recover from that historic beating we took at the hands of the Nepalese. Literally less than 2 days later, we're about to embark on a big 2-test series against India in India. Traditionally, I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been decades since we last won a test in India. And we're coming off the back of 27 all out, the loss to the Nepalese. Mash, have you got your alarm ready for 5 a.m. tomorrow morning?
Bro, I think it's 43 years. Is it 43 years since a test victory? Never mind a test series victory, just a test victory, I think, in India. And I think, obviously, 5 o'clock, I'm going to be up. That's relatively okay for a UK-based audience. Obviously, if you're in the Caribbean, you're going to have to try just stay awake all the way through the night. People in the Caribbean are going to experience what we experience when like CPL is on or when the World Cup was on last year. Whereas for us, it's kind of around that time when people in the UK start to slowly think about maybe having to get up. I think the important question to ask from the very jump, Santokie, let's just get out of the way. We did it for the Nepal series, so let's just try and be honest from the jump here. What does a good performance look like across this test series? Obviously, we're going to lose, so we're not here to quibble about, can West Indies win? Let's not even, but even though the thumbnail says we're trying to win, obviously we're not going to win. But what would be a performance that would embarrass India even if we won? Even if we lost, sorry.
I think if we could take 40 wickets across the two, if we could bowl India out every single time, that would be a massive. I think that would, in Darren Sammy's words, that'd give us the moral victory. And I think that would be embarrassing for India in terms of their whole lineup. They've got a strong batting lineup if they were to get bowled out. We've done it against the Aussies, right? We clean bowled them all out all the time. Obviously, other than the innings where they had a small total to chase, but generally we bowled Australia out. However, Mash, the big difference is this time we've not got Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, so the pace bowling at least is severely weakened. And we've seen reports this morning from India, pitches looking green, Mash. India aren't looking for a ranked turner. That plays into India's hands more than West Indies. And I think what India have realised based on the loss against New Zealand now is if you prepare a ranked turner, overseas sides, there's not that much. They've got quality spinners. Every overseas side has some sort of quality spinner. So the gap isn't that far. Whereas if you prepare a pitch that supports pace, we know that obviously India have Bumrah, Siraj, world-class pacers. And so I think the fact it's a green pitch and the fact we're missing Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph means it's going to be extremely hard for us to bowl India out. But I would say, back to your original question, I think bowling is where you have to look at where we can sort of get the small victories. Batting, Mash, I don't know. If we can get anything over 200, I'd take that. In any innings, that's I would say would be above par. I think our par performance based on the batting lineup is about 150 to 180. Would be generally what I'd sort of expect from this batting lineup. So if we can put together an innings of 200, 250 plus would be celebrations. But I'm looking more towards the bowling, which is our strength. If we can bowl India out consistently, that would show some sort of progress to do it in the subcontinent as well.
Can you see us bowling India out? Because the bowling attack that blew Australia away in the Caribbean, yes, we couldn't bat, but the bowling attack that blew Australia away was Seals, Shamar, Alzari, Justin Graves. Was it who am I missing? Was it those four as the seamers? And then who's Warwick as the spinner, and then Chase as like a gap filler, right? The problem is this, Santokie. Hopefully the green pitch in India isn't a catfish, but let's just assume that green pitch does mean it's a pace-friendly wicket for the first test, right? That means let's say it's completely pace-friendly, right? That means you're not playing the two spinners because when that squad was selected, you just naturally assumed, okay, we're going to India, so Warwican and Carripier are going to be the two spinners. Roston Chase is your third spinner, and you only need to play two pacers plus Justin Graves. But if that is a genuine green top, it means, Santokie, that Johan Lane might have to debut. And come on, and he could be good, right? Let's not try and dismiss the youth man, but you don't want Johan Lane debuting in this circumstance. You almost want the pitch to be friendly to both spin and pace, so we can justify the pacers only being Seals, Phillip, Graves. But Santokie, can you see West Indies handing Johan Lane a debut if they look at that pitch and go, oh my God, this is a seaming pitch. We can't, there's no point in playing two spinners on it or three spinners, Roston Chases.
I mean, their hands would essentially be tied behind their back, right? They wouldn't really have a choice. If it's that much of a green pitch, you're going to have to go with pace. I'd like to think because of India, the pitch is deteriorating, particularly day 3 and 4. They still might take a conservative option and go with two spinners. I think that would be more of our strength. But if at the end of the day, it's not looking like spin is going to play a massive part. If you've already got Warwican and Chase, I can't imagine them picking Carrie Pierre as well. And they'd have to go pace. So you'd have who have we got? Johan Lane, basically, or Jediah Blades, basically.
Blades, and they admit, Roston Chase said in the press conference this morning, Blades isn't even in India yet. So
yeah, but listen, that didn't stop. I swear one time Marquino Minley just got off the terminal and we threw him in Australia.
Man landed. We flew him to the airport and he bust up his hamstring within 8 balls cuts. And that was him done for the test match.
And that's basically it. There's no other. So yeah, it'd have to be Johan Lane. There's no other options we can go with. But Mash, even if it's, let's say the pitch isn't as green as we think it's green, but there's enough spin in it for them to pick two spinners. Yeah. If I'm looking at an attack of Seals, Phillip, Warwican, Carrie Pierre, and Justin Graves, Justin Graves is obviously the all-rounder, right? So you can't really put the onus on him to lead the attack.
Yeah.
You've essentially got a lot of pressure on Jaden Seals and Jamal Warwican, basically, because Carrie Pierre's on debut. He's experienced at a first-class level, but to come in at international level against India, who the Indian batters know how to play spin, they do it regularly on a daily basis. So they're not going to be too wary of that spin. And then Anderson Phillip, I know he played against Australia. I think he only got 1 wicket in the Test series against Australia, the Test match he played against Australia. Sporadically, he hasn't played that much Test cricket. He's very inconsistent. I'm not confident in Anderson Phillip. I know he's a good bowler, but I'm not confident in him being across 2 tests. Being enough support for
but we got no choice.
Yeah.
He's because both Josephs are out. He has that's why. And in fairness to Anderson Phillip, that's why you're the next taxi on the rank, because you can't assume that pacers are always going to be durable across a test series, much less from one test series to a next test series. And actually, Santokie, do you know what? I'm surprised they're not catching more pelters. So over this particular issue. Okay, yeah, you effectively want. So Darren Sammy said in his press conference, I can't turn down any West Indies cricketer and I can't retire any West Indies cricketer. Never has it been clearer that you are retiring Kemar Roach than now. Your 2 senior pacers are out and you call Johan Lane and Jediah Blades before you go back to the experienced pro and say, boy, I know we kind of dissed you by just ending your career, but needs must right now. Slider, come through. We're going to need you in. Would you have called Roach?
Yeah, I would have called Roach because Roach has got the experience. He's played in the subcontinent. He even played 1 test in Pakistan, right? So it's not like he's been out the game. I don't know if it's an injury situation, because I know his Surrey's thing got cut short, and then since then we've not really heard from him. But there's not, the fact they've not said anything means I'd imagine he's just basically not been called up for just performance reasons. But I was looking at, if we hear, we've heard Sammy compare it to like New Zealand going last year, and Roston Chase in the press conference today alluded to sort of New Zealand getting a win against India and them using it as inspiration. If you look at that New Zealand side in the first test, I think Tim Salvi played and he was 37. Right, and they used Tim Salvi to support the 2 seamers they had. So for us to not draw on that experience of Kemar Roach, I mean, obviously it'll be a great learning experience for Johan Lane to be around the setup and be there in India. But in terms of like when you think about the lack of resources we have, it's foolish not to go with Kemar Roach, Mash. Like you said, like especially across a series, you know you're going to have to draw on pacers. We've got no experience really other than Seals and Phillip. Why haven't we called up
Right.
Roach?
And let's even add to it. They clearly wanted experience because the original selection was Jason Holder, not Judea Blades. So that tells me that they even acknowledge, oh, sugar, we need someone who we can actually rely on. Jason, come through. Jason said, no, I've got a prearranged surgery now because you lot never called me in the first place. I can't make it. So once you've in your heads, you're saying, let's go to experience, Jason Holder come through. Why would your next step be Judea Blades? So for Santokie, we could have a situation for the second test. Let's just say, God forbid, one of the Pacers breaks down in the first test. So what? Blades is playing in the second. Oh,
Man said our bowling lineup would be Johan Lane, Judea Blades, and Carrie Pierre. You know, every man making a debut out here.
How did it get to this, Gus?
Big Jaiswal and KO Rahul coming out to bat, yeah, and you just got Judea Blades and Johan Lane just out here, just looking at them, thinking, "Well, what are we gonna do?"
Real CCC heritage, you know.
That CCC tour match, you know. But you know what?
Yeah.
It will be, if for the next test, if I see a picture of them giving Judea Blades or Johan Lane a test cap, yeah, obviously it's nice for the youth man, but I'll be so sad, you know, to see the youth man being thrown their big test cap against India. Like, it was bad enough, Mash. It was bad enough that we dashed Kevlon Anderson into that third test for no reason. Was out here sacrificing the youth man.
You know, in those on Netflix, I don't know if on Netflix you've ever watched any of those Viking programs on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, so in the Viking times, I can't remember which one I'm thinking of, because obviously they worship gods like Odin and stuff. And you know, in those shows, like, they always did these every other episode, they'd be making a human sacrifice to Odin. That's effective. That's what we've been doing, cuz. We're just looking around the region and saying, can we sacrifice a youth man to the gods? Can we sacrifice one to the gods of cricket? Maybe we'll get some luck.
Well, yeah, and this is the concern, right? Because normally, Mash, when we do preview episodes, it's flipped the other way. We always talk about the batting concerns, and the bowling, we don't never really touch on the bowling, because the bowling sort of picks itself. Here, if we got concerns about the bowling, it's a big issue. So realistically, we're saying, obviously, first choice, and as we expected, probably be Seals, Phillip, Carrie Pierre, and Jamal Warrican leading the bowling attack, with obviously Graves and Chase as the all-rounders.
Yeah, I think that's what, realistically, I think that's what, even if the pitch takes pace, I think you have to go with the experienced team. Yeah. So I almost feel like they should, even if it takes pace, Santokie, I would rather them play Pierre than Lane, because I just don't think you should be doing that to the youth.
Yeah. And so if we go to the batting match, because the batting's interesting as well, to be fair. Like, in my head, when it was announced, I kind of thought, all right, cool, John Campbell and Tagenarine Chanderpaul.
Yeah.
But over the last few days, and especially with Sammy and Chase bigging up Afanase and Chanderpaul's ability to play spin, and John Campbell hasn't been given a central contract either, I'm thinking now, are they going to go with Afanase and Tage to open and Kevlon Anderson at 3? What sort of your thoughts on it?
Right. So I also have been looking at it. I've got a feeling Kevlon Anderson doesn't play. But then my question then is, if Kevlon doesn't play, I mean, ultimately, as a head coach, and this is in any sport, you've got to pick the team that you think best suits the opposition. So, no, like, old cricket means that if you were the last person in the team, you keep your spot for the next test. Kevlon Anderson just had test match debut, pink ball test, and Mitchell Stark took him there and showed him the levels, right? Kevlon had no idea what was going on. So it seems harsh if that's your test match debut and then you're dropped by or not selected for the next available test, right? But I think if they've spent so much time bigging up why Afanase is there, having been dropped himself, because you said, he plays spin well. I have Afanase playing, and Brandon King obviously is undroppable. Chase is undroppable. Hope is undroppable. Graves would be if he didn't also bowl, and obviously they've picked him over Holder. So the only person I can see losing out is Kevlon. I think Campbell plays because, again, you've just dropped Craig. So you almost have to play John Campbell because you have to have 2 designated openers. The question, therefore, Santokie, for me is the right thing to do? Is it right to tell Kevlon to sit? Or do you think Kevlon deserves another goal regardless?
It's hard. It's a hard one to tell because I don't think, that, like you said, I think the game's changed now. Whereas you're not just given a test just because you played the last one, right? Kevlon got 3 in a duck against Australia. He done one of the all-time worst reviews I've ever seen in my life against Australia. It was a horrendous performance. But if we're looking at what Sammy's been talking about, players who can soak up balls in India, right, more than anything. Kevlon fits that mold. I think for the A-team tour against South Africa recently, he hit like 50 off 102 balls or something like that. He's someone in that mold who can soak up balls, whereas Campbell's a bit more gung-ho and more like swing for it when he loses patience, when the pressure builds up. So I think, as I said before in the preview video, I think most likely it'll be Campbell, Tage opening, and then Afanase at 3. But the last few days have just got me thinking the way they're talking about Afanase and the need for players who can soak up balls, and then tied into the fact Campbell hasn't got a central contract. I wouldn't be shocked, Mash, if we see Afanase, Tage, and Kevlon as the top 3, the Ute man coming in, and then John Campbell taking a sit, just because Sammy might look at John Campbell's attributes and think, okay, cool, he can get a quick 20, but is he going to stick out and soak balls? And especially in India, where they'll want the pitch to deteriorate and batters to stay out there longer, you're going to go John Campbell because he'll score his 20 or 30 balls and be out, so he'll be gone quickly.
Yeah, but some of them other man might be scoring like 2 off 25.
Yeah.
So,
but That said, we need that 20 or 30, to build the
I'm talking. I just realised that I just said that to you like 20 or 30 and scoring a century.
Man said, you know when Lara hit the 375 and across Trinidad, yeah, they made stamps about it. Man said if Campbell hits 25, Bob, they're making a stamp in Jamaica, Bob. But Mash, again, the other thing is, yeah, I guess this is why Sammy's the coach, right, as well. Obviously, because he's qualified as well, but the fact he's good with the PR. The way my man's been talking about Tage and Chanderpool, yeah, you think this guy's ready to hit a triple century in India, Bearing in mind, the last competitive cricket he played was minor league cricket in Orlando, Florida, right?
Yeah, playing for the Orlando Magic cricket team or something.
And Shiv was the coach. His dad was the coach, right? So
was it? I didn't even realize,
Yeah. So how are we hyping up a man to go to India with no? Bear in mind, we're not playing no warm-up games, nothing. These men just flew there straight, and we're hyping up Chanderpool's ability to play spin. What elite spinner would he been playing in minor league cricket in Orlando? It don't make no sense. So I think we've also hyped Tage up as if, all right, Tage is one part of the jigsaw solved, and it's just working out who is going to open with him. Tage is another issue because I don't think Tage is going to score runs either. He might soak up balls. He might get 2 or 58 or something, but I don't think he's going to hit runs, bruv. So it's whatever combination you look at it, because Afanase has been out the test side as well, and he hasn't played much red ball cricket. Kevlon, John Campbell, Afanase, Tage. Either way, Mash, you're looking at 30 for 3 or 25 for 3, regardless of who plays. It's not like there's a obvious better option at this point in time.
So earlier today in the Discord group, right? Neeks posted in the Discord group earlier. He put a still up of ESPN Cricinfo of the start time for the match, and underneath the picture, Neeks put, "This game might be over before I wake up."
Well, you know what? ESPN did say actually tomorrow they're expecting rain. So
perfect.
So that could stall it out. So even worse scenario, we get up at 5 a.m. and there's not even any.
Okay, let's wrap the show by just doing the following. We've said that a good performance for West Indies in this test series is let's just say the first test, 40 wickets, and in one innings scoring over 250.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and take it there, Santokie. In a 3-match test series against Australia, we saw 150 from a West Indian across all 3 test matches, right?
Yeah.
Surely someone can score a 50 surely, Santokie. I'm gonna stick my neck out there and say, in this first test, at least 2 West Indians will score a 50. What do you reckon? Yes or no?
No. I think you might get King or Hope out of nowhere.
Or Chase. These men can play. Chase can play
play
spin, you know, because Chase could give us a 50, you know.
Yeah, Chase could give us. Yeah, but then who else is giving us 50? I don't see. What man saying 100 partnership out here, man? But he too many.
How else are we gonna get to 250? A couple man. You know what you saying? It can't just be man hitting 22. Someone's got to hit 50, cuz.
If I'm Sammy, I'm just telling every man, play for your life to get to 25. That's all I need. I don't want a 26, 27. 25 is all we need. And then law of averages. If all you man can hit 25, we'll get above 200 in it. So that's what it is. I mean, yeah, I think all seriousness, Chase is someone who's shown previously, that I'm talking years ago, he can play spin in the subcontinent, right? So Chase is someone, he's the captain as well, so he's going to be looking to step up. King and Hope, we know the quality they have shown. So I'm looking either one of those or 2 of those to get that score. But I think realistically, one would be my expectations, to be fair. One person to hit.
To be fair, Santokie, technically, in this team, we bat all the way down to. I'm including Pierre and Warwican as lower order batters in this team. Surely we can make it to 200.
Yeah, I think we can. And the first innings we bat is going to be the best chance because we won't be down bad.
We got to bat first. Yeah, I think whatever happens, even if it's a green pitch, we don't want to bat last at any point versus India. So you want to, regardless of pitch, you want to just you just want to win toss, bat first, and say, boy, let's see what we can do.
But then, do you really want to face Bumrah with a new ball on a green pitch?
No, I don't want to face Bumrah at any point in the whole test match.
I put it this way, with the new ball, Mash, with the new ball, so it's going to be, let's say Bumrah and Siraj will take 6 overs each. Are we surviving those 12 overs, though? This is the thing, right? Man said we're coming out those 12 overs with Jaden Seals out here.
Listen, I just saw the T20 side make 7 runs in 5 overs, right, against Nepal. So them man showed a test match batting approach. So I'm saying the test side can do something similar.
Oh my god. Anyway, Mash, we said we'll keep it quick preview because obviously we know the test starts in about 10 hours time, so we'll do a quick preview, but we'll definitely be back with maybe daily content or regular content about the series as it goes. Like, comment, share, subscribe, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, TikTok, Facebook, patreon.com. You can see the ticker below. Massively important. You support Caribbean Cricket Podcast, patreon.com/Caribbean Cricket. And Mash, we got some good content coming up because there's been a lot going around West Indies cricket, particularly today. They held their quarterly press conference. I think the theme of that is financial cuts, and we're obviously going to get into that. A few headlines we need to talk on. Contracts handed out for the next year or so. So a few talking points there. So look out for the content coming.
We've got loads of stuff coming this week, people. So pretty much, I don't want to say every single day, but we got enough to talk about every single day. So like the Nepal series, expect some regular content coming. I've been Machel St. Patrick Hewitt. Santokie's been Santokie. We got a rally as always, people. For all the jokes we spread, we're still going to be rallying regardless. So let's see what the West Indies can do. We'll be back very, very soon. Peace.
West Indies cricket.